Welcome back, everyone, to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined by Jeff Torrey. Today, we're getting you ready again for 2023 and your auction drafts. But today, we've talked a lot of strategies and, all that kind of stuff through July. But today, we're actually going to talk a little bit about risers and fallers right now. But to do that, we're going to go throw up ESPN. We've been doing a lot of their live draft trends. And we're going to give the players who have gone up the most in value over the last 7 days. This is in like what is actually happening in real drafts and how much they're going for. So who's gone up the most, who's gone up the least, or who's gone down the most. And we'll just talk about these guys and why that might be, if it's a trend, if we should pay attention to it and what's going on. Number one player that's going up in price this last 7 days, and it's by a lot. No one's even close to him. Garrett Wilson. He's gone up $3.7 over the last week. And what is this, training camp hype? You've seen a couple of good catches. He's looked good. He actually had a little tweak of an injury, a low ankle sprain, nothing major, but that didn't hinder him in price. I mean, you've seen a couple nice catches. Is that what's happening here? People are getting to really buying into Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think so. I also think, I'm the guy that thought Garrett Wilson was underpriced in the beginning. I think that is more of what it is, where after you get a little perspective and you come back and you see where everyone is ranked, you start being like, oh, that's actually a deal at wide receiver 10. Mm-hmm. So I think that is kind of what is happening with that, because, I don't know how much he would have shifted above or below anyone, but I think he's getting closer to that other tier that we talked about, which is, who was right above him. I forget already, but not quite Devontae's level, but in between there, where I think it was like a $10 difference, really.
Yep. He's up to $37 now.
Yeah, I still think that is a good deal. Truly. I think that if you got him for $40, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is the market coming around on, possibly it's Aaron Rodgers' number one receiver, who's usually, if they're a good player, has been really good in the past. Last year, you just didn't have a guy. Watson became that and actually was pretty good. And that wasn't even, Christian Watson's not Garrett Wilson. He's good. We like Christian Watson, but he's not Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's a step above that.
Yeah, much more polished already. Yeah. And I will say that a lot of these guys, you'll either see a little video of them at training camp, this and that. I do absolutely love watching him and Sauce Gardner go at it. Yeah. And you're kind of like, how do you not think that they're both going to get a lot better playing against each other? Gotta love it.
So Garrett Wilson, by far the biggest gainer in the last week. Number 2 is James Cook for the Bills. This one's interesting. A little interesting. I'm not really. Has there been that much hype on him coming out of camp? There's just people coming around thinking, all right, it's coming around now. Oh, who's the running back for the Bills? James Cook now. My worry with James Cook is I don't think he's big enough. I don't know what he is. He's not like an every down back. Damian Harris is going to play. I don't know. I just don't know if I want a Buffalo Bills running back.
I think this is hype from last year, kind of like the spillover, because I don't think anything really changed. No, I think that he is a good pass catching option, but you have so many people on that team. It never turns out as good as you think it's going to. The only thing I can think in my you're adding another tight end. You have Knox and you have Kincaid now. Diggs, if he is still unhappy or something, maybe it frees up some, but I don't know why he'd be that much better than last year.
He's shown, there's been some training camp stuff where he looks pretty good, but he can look as good as we want, but is the work actually going to be there? That's where I just don't know if that changes anything. You can look as good as you want. You can have these highlight plays, all that. I just don't buy the Bills doing that. I don't want to trust it. We bought into Devin Singletary a couple of years ago. I'm like, I just don't want to. Yeah, I just don't want to be there. I don't want to do that right now. And maybe I'll miss
right now. And I look at him as a different kind of back, like you said. I don't see him as a 3 down. So I only see him in 3rd down situations at the moment. You get a few carries, very situational. And even though he will look good in those situations, if you're not getting the enough carries to make a difference, and are you really going to be the goal line back? Highly doubt that.
It's Josh Allen and Damian Harris, right? Yeah. You would have to think down there.
You would have to think.
So maybe we're wrong, but maybe wrong.
Yeah, and he might turn out to be the real deal, and he's more of a 3 down back than we thought. And
he's gone up $1.8, right? So almost $2. He's up to 4.8. I like James Cook at like the $1 or $2 player. That was like, okay, throw a check. When he's up to 5, going higher, and people might buy into a 6, 7. I don't. That's a little. I don't love that.
And I don't want to jump, but I think we should, because the other guy that is on the rise, and he is about the same price average salary at number 4 is Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
And like, which one would you rather take a shot at? It's got to be Javonte.
If
right?
Javonte's healthy, which he didn't get on the PUP list, right? So he's out there. Javonte has. I mean, Javonte has P. Ryan there, I guess. But P. Ryan looked good last year, but he's Samaje P. Ryan is a career backup. He's a good career backup, but he's a career backup. They seem pretty confident in Javonte's recovery and how he's coming along. So
that is the thing I can't connect. I get that James Cook has the wow factor at a moment, but Javonte, how quickly you forget. I know he was injured and this and that, but Melvin Gordon is gone. You do have P. Ryan, but even if he's playing second fiddle, he has an opportunity to be kind of a huge part of that offense, where I'm not so sure if James Cook really has that in him.
That's the difference. I think Javonte has the potential for a much bigger role, and they're going for about the same price.
Yeah.
And that's about the difference. And we don't really talk snake drafts at all, but they both have gone up 10 spots in snake drafts. So that's even more of a, like, you can really see them jumping up. That's a pretty big jump. So people are really starting to come around on both of those guys. But Javonte, I'll take a chance at Javonte at $4 or $5. I'm more likely to do that,
especially when we're the kind of loving zero running back.
Exactly, he's the kind of guy you might take a shot at.
It's a great
I just can't see James Cook being. There's too much there for me, too much.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's not just Damien Harris; it's the quarterback too. So, the number 3 guy, since we went to 4, the number 3 is Calvin Ridley. He's gone up $1.7, and I think this is just, again, he's been looking good in camp. People finally got to see him for the first time in a few years. He looks good in camp. He was a really good player a couple years ago. This could be, there's potential there. He's up to $11.8, so he's getting up there. Calvin Ridley could really be a value. If he stays 15 or under, think about this. You could get Calvin Ridley, who maybe could be that number 1 receiver, with a quarterback who's just in year 3 and who was one of the best prospects we've had at quarterback in a long time. This could actually be, I haven't thought about Kevin Ridley a lot, but this is getting me a little interested here.
He is one that really hard to say, right? Because right now you're probably going online and you're seeing him running a route, and it looks like he's running so much faster than, I can't remember who ran before him, but you're kind of like, I don't know how much of that is true, how much of it is not, but it does bring me back to the days when he was in Atlanta, and he was great as playing the number 2 wide receiver, where his rookie year he was the 18th overall best wide receiver.
Yep.
His second year, the 23rd overall, and then when he got when he moved into that number 1 wide receiver slot, he was the 4th best wide receiver overall. We thought that we were seeing like a guy that was going to dominate for the next 5 years. And then he obviously had his issues, took a step away from football. Now he's coming back. So the whole question was, first of all, are you good? Are you going to play? Now it's kind of like, did you miss a step? Are you good? Do you have to shake the rust off? And this is what we think we're seeing right now is he is good to go. Like, he has stayed in shape. He's sharp. He's still got that quickness. And now it's going to come down to, is Trevor Lawrence and that offense taking that next step? Because if they do, he could be back into the top 10, top 5, because he really had that kind of talent. Is he going to get enough balls thrown to him? I don't know. He is the one that I totally understand why everyone is excited about all of a sudden, because he's shown it in the past. The number 4 overall wide receiver coming back and running routes and looking good.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yep, I'm getting very interested in that one, and I just throw up his name, and one of the headlines pops up is they're talking about day 5 observations as Calvin Ridley steals the show in camp. So there's some hype going there. So let's go to the negative side then, and who's going down. Number 1, that is trending down is J.K. Dobbins, minus almost $3. Basically, he hasn't been in camp. He hasn't been playing. We've been J.K. Dobbins fans, but I think I'm out right now. I can't do it. I can't get Dobbins. even at the cheapest price, he needs to go even lower. Then maybe you throw that chance on him. He's getting down there now, but he hasn't been there. So what do you do?
Yeah. I mean, that's what you have to see him play, right? At some point, you have to know he's going to be on the field because that is the only reason you got hurt by him last couple of years. So here's the question, though. Right now, he is going to go for less and less. If you throw that money out there, the reward could be astronomical.
Yep.
Do you, for $5, I don't know, is it worth it?
Well,
Where else do you spend that money?
Here's the this is like what John Harbaugh said.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of answers that are like, what is happening? So last Wednesday, Harbaugh was asked about J.K. Dobbins and the pup list and stuff, and the answer was, that's a J.K. question. I wish there was a simple answer. There's some complexity to it. We're working through all that. J.K.'s working through it. There's always a lot of things that go into it. I'm looking forward to when he's out there. Asked if he could provide a timeline when he expects to be back in the field. He said he wouldn't be able to say at this time. What's going on there?
I don't know what that answer is about at all.
What is going on?
That is bizarre.
That's the kind of thing you hear and we're like, that's a coach that doesn't want to throw his player under the bus, and it's just a weird. I don't know. I want to stay away, but you're right. If it goes even cheaper though, it's just it becomes where it's not even like you're not out much. And if that's the kind, if he doesn't get on the field, he's going to go lower and lower and lower. He's going to be almost free, and then you take that chance.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't like that.
No, I was going to say I was trying to figure out what was going on, but they say supposedly it could have something to do with extension negotiations. So
that's worrisome too.
That out. First of all, no running backs getting paid, you haven't been healthy at all.
He hasn't done anything. I like the potential that he has. Guy hasn't been on the field. No. And when he was coming back from injury last year. He wouldn't give that guy an extension yet.
Yeah, I will say this. I feel like he has to play. I feel like he'll end up getting out there. And if I worry about the injury a little bit, but if you're out there playing for pretty much your future in the NFL,
yep,
that typically feels like it bodes well for whoever's doing it. So I'm still optimistic about it, but I get why people would shy away. But you're getting to a price where, man, that return could be huge.
Yep. All right, next up is A.J. Brown, down $2.8 to $35.4. This one, I don't think there's no news for this. There's nothing. It might be a Garrett Wilson's gone up. Maybe that's he's losing some of that money. So because Garrett Wilson has passed him in how much money they're going for. He's down to A.J. Brown's down to 35 and Garrett Wilson's up to 37. So they've swapped.
All of a sudden, A.J. Brown is looking like the value.
Yeah, he is.
I thought he was going to be in the 40s.
There's nothing wrong with what I've seen or heard from camp.
No,
I don't
not
think.
at all.
I think you take advantage of this situation.
I don't think A.J. Brown's production should alter that much this year.
A.J. Brown, $35, well worth it. Absolutely well worth it. I like that pick. So I wouldn't be worried about that one. He's going. Yeah, it's a strange. That's I think maybe just like other players getting hyped above.
Yeah,
like Garrett Wilson.
And you know what? I don't hate that. Like out of sight, out of mind. I would start being like, well, A.J. is going to be a guy I throw out there because if people aren't hyped about him.
Yep.
You can get him for his value.
Next up, Jonathan Taylor. This is easy. Understand why. That whole situation's weird. He wants money. He wants a new contract. Irsay makes comments about not paying, I think, running backs. Then he decides he wants to be traded. They have a meeting. He wants to be traded. The Colts came back and said that he showed up and said he had back pain and all this and he can't walk. And so they're going to put him on the non-football injury list and not pay him. So then Jonathan Taylor goes and says, well, no, I never told him that. I think they called this bluff.
Yeah.
It's what it seems like to me. He doesn't want to play without a new contract. So he comes in there. He's not even franchise tag. That's next year.
Yeah, he's a little bit off.
He's not even to that point yet. But this is just a messy situation.
Yeah, man, it is unbelievable what is happening with the running back position at the moment. I feel like I get it, and because you're in a high injury risk, but I feel like you can't pull the ripcord that early.
No, that's getting too early.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to be, and I get it. I mean, he is a franchise kind of guy. They need him, especially with that rookie QB coming in.
Yep.
But yeah, I think they did correctly call his bluff. I mean, I'm rooting for him to get paid.
But you're doing drafts this early, how do you draft him? You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
No.
Hopefully, if you're drafting later in the year, hopefully it's cleared up because you can't draft him right now.
No, and even if he dropped, say he's going for $43, 43.3. That is dropped of $2.3 off of that already. If he goes even lower, even if he goes to 35, it is a possibility you wasted $35.
I just can't do it.
I can't either right now.
Joe Burrow goes down 1.8. That's because of the calf. He should be fine. I wouldn't worry about it. And Kenneth Walker goes down 1.8, and that's because of his injury as well. He's down to 14. This could be a situation where you could take advantage depending on the situation of how long this injury is going to last. But Charbonnet's injured as well, so it's not like this isn't a situation where Walker's hurt and it gives Charbonnet the chance to shine and take over his role. That's not happening. So
no, I still like it. Anything like that is not a permanent injury. I say that's great, and I will actually bank on that and save a few dollars.
And then I'll just go one more. DeAndre Swift goes down 1.5, and that one might be more of people. In my mind, I want to say people are buying into Rashad Penny. I know that's probably not the case, but I'm going to. Swift, I think that's two Eagles that are going down for really no reasons. There's not really much to it, but maybe people realize Penny's a good player.
Maybe. I don't know.
Probably not. But all right, there we go. There's some risers and fallers right now. Maybe we'll do this again in a couple weeks to see what's changed and what's going on. But that's it for today. Talk to you guys next time.